Hello gardener, welcome back to my garden. Today I'm going to bring you along as I grow out my sweet green pea harvest this season and show you step by step everything that you need to know about growing sweet peas. If you've never grown these little green gems before, don't worry. They're super beginner friendly and easy to grow. And trust me, homegrown sweet green peas taste amazing, way sweeter than the store-bought ones, which lose their sugar content quickly after being harvested. You're really in for a treat when you grow them yourself in your own home backyard garden. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jerra. I've been gardening all of my life and I'm a professional seed and plant nursery. I love to share my knowledge and teach others how to garden and grow food, so you've come to the right place if you want to improve your gardening skills. Let's start by talking about cultivar selection, so you pick the best sweet green pea variety to grow in your garden. For a classic heirloom pea that pretty much will grow well for everyone, I recommend a variety called Green Arrow. It always produces well even in my extreme Florida garden. It's high yielding, has long pods packed with peas, and is resistant to many common pea diseases. If you're gardening in a cooler climate with soil temperatures that are still kind of on the cold side, try direct sowing seeds for a variety called Alaska because it is known to still germinate and grow well in colder climates and soils. Standard sweet green pea vines get between 5 to 6 feet tall and require a trellis to grow up on. If you have a small garden, try growing a variety called Little Marvel because it has short, compact plants getting around 18 inches tall that do not require a trellis. So it's a good option for smaller gardens, green stock garden towers, and containers. And if you're looking for seeds, I've got a bunch of sweet green pea varieties available on my website. These are my sweet green peas that I grew this season up on this trellis. They're topping out at about 4, not even 5 feet yet. If you're growing any kind of pea, like snow peas, sweet green peas, and sugar snap peas, you have to know one very important thing, and that is that peas do not grow well in hot temperatures like over 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. If it is too hot, the vines will wither, turn brown, and stop producing. So peas grow best during the early spring and fall when it's nice and cool. In hot climates like mine, which would be areas that have very mild winters and don't get snow, you can direct sow peas in November or December, letting them grow through the winter. That way you harvest everything out before it starts getting too hot again. Everyone else, direct sow the seeds 4 to 6 weeks before your last average spring frost date. Next, let's talk about the ideal soil to grow sweet green peas in. Peas don't need a ton of fertilizer, but they do love soil that's rich in organic matter. Mix in some compost before sowing the seeds. My soil is years of composted down wood chips, and peas grow fantastic in it. Like beans, peas are nitrogen affixers, meaning they pull nitrogen out of the air and deposit it into the soil. Because of this, they don't like overly rich soil. In fact, too much nitrogen will cause lots of leafy growth but no pods in peas. So no need to fertilize at all for the rest of the growing season. As far as sun requirements, peas are considered a full sun crop. They love 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. If you're in a hot climate like me, plant them in a spot that gets bright morning sun with some afternoon shade to protect them from the intense heat. This will help the vines last a lot longer. I generally follow square foot gardening guidelines when I plant my crops into the garden, but not so much when growing peas. Don't be afraid to pack those seeds in, they will be fine. Dig a shallow trench right under your trellis, sow them densely, cover with about 1 inch of soil, and water them in. Keep the soil moist to help soften the pea shells and make germination easier on them. Peas are a short-lived crop and have shallow roots, so they don't compete much for nutrients if growing close together. Standard sweet green peas are climbers, so give them something to grab onto. I typically grow them on a trellis made from T-post with mesh vinyl netting, or I attach some cattle panels onto the T-post with zip ties. I have a tutorial showing how I built my trellis systems, which I will link below in the description if you need some ideas. Standard pea vines get around 6 feet tall, so make sure your vertical trellis is 6 to 8 feet tall. If you're growing a Little Marvel, then no need to trellis. Treat it like a short bushy plant. It is very important to keep the soil consistently moist when growing peas. They do not tolerate drought and will wilt easily if the soil is too dry. Keep the soil moist but not soggy. I like to water in the early morning so the plants have plenty of water to get through the hottest part of the day, which is the afternoon. A layer of mulch around the base helps retain moisture, reduces how often you need to water, and just overall reduces plant stress. As far as plant diseases, peas really don't get too many, but fungal issues can occur, especially in wet, humid conditions like my Florida garden. Growing peas vertically to improve air circulation and keeping the vines off the ground will help avoid a lot of those diseases. Also, do not overhead water your pea plants. Wet leaves are where these fungal diseases like powdery mildew spread. Water the base of the plants instead. Good airflow and dry leaves are your best defense. But if your plants do get some sort of leaf disease, spray with 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide per gallon of water to clean and disinfect. Reapply this every 3 to 5 days until you see the disease has reduced or pretty much stopped spreading. Peas also don't have too many pest issues beyond the fact that many critters, especially rabbits, like to eat the plants. But as far as insect pests, aphids are going to be the most common one you see, especially in the springtime. Aphids like to suck the juices out of the newest tender growth. If you spot them early, just blast them off with a hose. Ladybugs will eventually show up and eat them all very quickly. But if the aphid infestation is severe, spray with an organic insecticidal soap or spinosad. By following all my pea growing tips, you should start harvesting in about 2 months after direct sowing the seeds. That is a very fast seed to harvest for a vegetable crop. It is important to harvest regularly. If the pods remain on the vines for a long time, it sends signals to the plant that it is approaching the end of its life cycle, so production will decline. By frequently harvesting pods, you're not letting the plant go into that stage, and it will produce more over a longer period of time. Sweet shelling peas are best harvested when the pods are plump and round and the shape of each pea is visible from the outside of the pod. When harvested at the correct time, the sugar content is high, which gives the best flavor. If the peas mature too much, the texture is not as tender and they start losing their sugar content. After some practice, you will quickly learn the sweet spot or the best moment to harvest the pods for maximum flavor. I can't express how much sweeter freshly harvested homegrown peas are than anything you can buy at the grocery store. The sugar content starts to break down quickly after harvesting, so the peas you buy at the grocery store are nowhere near as sweet. They are so sweet that I catch my son, who hates vegetables, sneaking out into the garden to shell peas and eat them fresh. Trust me, that says a lot. Kids will love to eat them. Check the plants every other day or so and harvest the ones that are ready. Then shell the peas and store them in the fridge until you have enough to cook with. You can blanch the peas in boiling water for 1 minute, dunk them in an ice bath to stop the cooking process, and then set them out to dry before freezing for long-term storage. All right, so we harvested a bunch today. This will be enough for dinner after we shell them all out. Thank you for coming along with me while I grew out this season's sweet green pea harvest, and I hope you're inspired to try growing peas in your own garden. If you learned something new, please give me a big thumbs up. That helps out my channel more than you know. Share this tutorial with your garden friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my gardening tutorials. Thank you for watching, and happy gardening.